A-League fans are criminals. Well, at least that's the view of clubs, the leagues, and stadium management right across Australia. G'day, I'm Sog from Couch Critics, and we've got another rant video that's 2 in a week. Brad and I are usually pretty uh, upbeat, positive people, but maybe people in Australian football should stop doing stupid things, I don't know. Yes, this all comes out an email sent to Sydney FC Cove members just recently that shows, I guess, how the league views active support. And they say they want it, that our support's the best in the world. You know, they love the active support, the colour and the noise it brings to our game. They love it as a selling point, and yet they continue to do things that don't support the active support of teams around the country. This is the email that was sent to Sydney FC fans just recently before the upcoming Sydney Derby. Allianz Stadium have advised us that Cove memberships and tickets will only be able to gain entry through Gate 4 for this Saturday's fixture against Western Sydney to relieve pressure on Gate 3. Gates 1, 3 and 5 will not permit entry. Gate 4 will be exclusively accessible for Cove patrons, so anyone, yada, 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 you can read on there. Down to the bottom, then again it says, this procedure worked well last year, allowing quick, safe and easy access to active bays for Cove members and ticket holders and preventing access for those without the correct entitlement. Members will be expected to have a wristband. Only those with the wristband will be allowed in the 3 safe standing bays. Now, that's the email that was sent out, and look, there's some things in there that are totally fine. The wristbands so that only Cove members can stand in the active bays. Look, I understand why lots of people kind of try to get in there, and they've got to keep it safe. The safe standing, it's got to be safe. That's totally fine. I'm okay with that. But it's the wording of this email that kind of annoys me and shows the way everyone sees fans, Cove and other active support, because they take us for a ride, think that we're a little bit stupid. So the wording again of that email was, this is to relieve pressure on Gate 3. And that's just a flat out lie. If you've been to Allianz Stadium, you go to Gate 3 and Gate 1 as well, and there's about 30, 25 ticket bays that you can go through, and anybody who's been to the stadium will know that it takes about a minute tops, even when it's quite busy, just before game time, to get in through those gates. Even if there's lots of people going in through Gate 3, it's quite a simple process, quite a quick process, and there's no real issues there. They've got people checking bags, they've got security wands to check for flares. Now, I think most of this is around flares and just treating people like criminals. Now, flares, I get it, they're illegal. You might have an opinion on flares. They definitely add an atmosphere and experience to games that we don't really get in other sports in Australia. There's no real alternative. I remember Brisbane Roar for a little while were trying safe smoke. Really, the only alternative the league puts forward is those flamethrowers that they put around games in summer that make everyone really, really hot and no fans enjoy. So there's little communication with the fan groups here about alternatives for this. But yeah, I think it's the wording of this that to relieve pressure on Gate 3 is just treating fans like they're dumb, like we don't know what's going on. The way it works is by sending every Cove member through Gate 4, it actually super congests the Cove and makes it quite a slow and long process, because they have about 3 security guards there, and one by one they make you empty your pockets. They wristband you, and then every single member of the Cove gets wanded with the metal detector before they can go into the stadium. And so really what this is separating out the Cove and treating them a little bit like criminals, making sure that no one can get in, slowing them right down. Now, if the club had said that this was for safety, I think it's them taking us for a ride. If they said, look, there's been issues in the past, this is for the safety of all patrons and to ensure safe standing is done correctly, then I'd be a lot less frustrated. But it's the way that they've treated fans, and it's a continuing theme throughout the A-League that support bases, active support bases around the country are treated like criminals. We see it again and again. Just a couple of weeks ago in the Big Blue down in Melbourne, the Australia Day Derby, there was an incident, and again, I'm not condoning the wrong behaviour here. Victory fan threw a flare or something at Cove supporters, and so when both active supports actually got to their gates to go into the stadium security didn't allow them to take any of their concession items in. So they weren't allowed drums, they weren't allowed megaphones, they weren't allowed banners or flags or anything like that. All of their concessions gone, which it really did detract from the atmosphere of one of Australia's like centre point games. Like this is one of the showpiece events for the A-League, is the Big Blue around Australia Day. It's an institution of the league, and both active supports weren't really able to lead chants and things the way they usually do without any of their concessions. It took a whole lot of colour out of the game, a whole lot of noise out of the game, and it actually reduces the spectacle. Remember, this is something that the league really wants to showcase. They love to showcase the fans. Oh, we've got active support. It's really great. It brings this atmosphere that's unique to Australian soccer, to Australian football, that no other code has. And yet, while they do that, on the other hand, they make it so difficult for active support to actually do what they would like to do. They consistently kind of pressure them and close them down. Now, yes, there are some people, probably 1% of active support fans who want to do stupid stuff, who want to start fights or do those kind of things. But it's actually quite a rare occurrence now for these things to be happening in the A-League, and I don't condone that. I think it's stupid. If you want to go be a hooligan, go and do it somewhere else, not at the football. I'm with the league in trying to stamp that kind of behaviour out. The problem is that all active support is kind of clouded by that 1%, and seen by the league, by clubs, and by stadium management, particularly around Australia, as that. And so that's really disappointing, because about 10 years ago we had the big issue, and maybe that's one we can do a video on if you'd like to see that, where the league didn't back fans. There's the whole Sydney Morning Herald debacle with fans plastered on the front page of the paper, and the league didn't back them up, and we saw lots of people leave the game because of that. And if the league doesn't continue to back their fans and their active support, then we're going to see similar things continue to happen. It's a recurring issue, but it's 1% of fans, really. If you're an AFL fan or an NRL fan, nothing like this would ever happen. Attending a match, you wouldn't be separated out and ferried through a small gate so that every single patron could be security wanded and bag checked and have their pockets emptied. So it's definitely a thing that happens to Australian football fans, that we're consistently pulled aside and made to feel like criminals, and made to feel like we're a danger to society, when it's just not true. I've never felt in danger in an A-League match, and so I think it's ridiculous. If you're an NRL or an AFL patron and goer, and you've had something like this, maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know down in the comments, but I think it's just an indictment on the league and the clubs. I'd be a lot less frustrated if it wasn't kind of couched in this language that yes, it's all about safe. It's all about reducing the pressure on the gates, and just tell it to us straight. It's a bit disappointing, and really hoping that things could change in the A-League for that, because we need alternatives, whether it's safe smoke or the clubs have done a lot better trying to work with fan bases, but it's these kind of things where stadium management is really coming down hard on active support, and making it quite difficult and not a fun experience to go to the football, which is they want more people, and that's what active support brings. It brings excitement and an atmosphere that draws more crowds to their stadium. So maybe the fix is teams working towards getting their own stadiums, managing their own stadiums, so we don't have to deal with these archaic stadium managements that don't like football fans. Yeah, alternatives like Safe Smoker, and the club's really working hard to make that an option for fans. But yeah, it's just disappointing the way that A-League fans get treated. And so if you feel like you've been treated similarly, and you have suggestions on how we can work with the league to make things better, please do drop them down in the comment. Like I said, this is our second rant video in a week. We're not usually this downcast on the league. We're usually pretty upbeat. We'll be back to normal happy things, but yeah, I think that's just an interesting situation that's happening in Australian football at the moment. Thanks so much for watching. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you're new here and you haven't subscribed. We'd love to keep climbing those numbers. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.